Oh boy, that's unfortunate. We are live.
Jane, what was the name of the restaurant? You're muted.
And we're live.
Here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
I am calling to remind you that I am your biggest fan. I am standing here with pom-poms in my hands. The pom-poms are your favorite colors. I'm practicing a cheer and I'm doing everything I can think of to be prepared for the wonderful joy and success that you're having, that you're being, that you're sharing in your life. Go team. You are the greatest.
Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's alright.
Woohoo! Thank you so much. And here comes the sun, even on the West Coast. See, we get into springtime and it's not dark when Jeff gets started. Good morning, New Thought Philadelphia, and welcome to another Sunday. We are on Zoom, and you know what the rules are on Zoom. Keep yourself muted, except when we're going to be sharing. And oh, by the way, at the board meeting this week, the board decided that there's a lot of reasons that we really like being on Zoom. So we're going to continue doing one Sunday a month in person, and we're also going to continue to be very focused on our Zoom presence. And as I look around the group here, I've seen people from multiple countries and all sorts of different places. So there's a lot of possibility here. So anyway, as we embark upon whatever's happening today, I invite you to unmute your microphone so we can make a joyous cacophony together. So go ahead and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to the possibility of May starting this week.
I open myself to the possibility of me
starting this week.
I know love is right here, right now.
I know that love is here right now.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Mute your mics one more time as I'll remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. So whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting Welcome home. We believe there is one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us. And we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. So we like to say around here, your new life begins with a new thought. We'll be talking more about using the word to create a new thought and inspire a new life as we move along. So go ahead and silence your extra electronic devices so we don't disturb or distract you in the next hour or so. So we turn our attention to our time and our space together. I'm Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. The music today comes to us from Palm Springs, California. That's Jeff Lesser over there with the piano and the microphone and stuff. We got a couple of practitioners. Jesus Baez, RSCP, is going to lead us in a meditation in a little bit. And right now, Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, is going to open us up the way we open everything, which is with a practical prayer.
Good morning. It's a great day today. Nice out. Take a breath, settle in with me, and know that in the beginning was the word. It was let there be love, let there be light, let there be life. And there were beings created of all kinds. Everyone made from and as that creative force. And not just as that creative force. That creative force indwells each one of us. We are all connected by that source, by that word, let there be. We are those beings, individual expressions of that light, of that love, of that power. And we celebrate that every time we come together. We celebrate that. We remind ourselves that there is that one source. It is us. It indwells each of us. So we gather again today to affirm that, celebrate it, enjoy it, and use it. Use it to create our own lives. So for everything we create here today, the connections, the sharing, the love, the music, the insights, the words, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everyone who brings their own individuality to this celebration and shares it. And I'm grateful for everything that we create here today. So I will claim all this for each one here, knowing that it flows ever outward to the rest of the world that we live in. And I'll release my word to the law that always says yes. So it is.
So it is. So it is. Thank you, Joe. And that's a practical prayer. And the reason that we call it practical is because it actually changes stuff in the experience of the life that we're having. So if anybody's been doing a practical prayer and you've got some results that you'd like to share or give voice to or boast about, just share. Go ahead and raise your hand. Let us know, and you can tell us what's going on for you. Anybody? Okay, one at a time. No, and it's actually that's perfectly okay. One of the things that we were talking about in the meditation this week is that as we become more and more spiritual and intentional about the spiritual life that we have, things just naturally and congruently come together without necessarily having it be a particular prayer. So I love, Sarah often has stories about how pieces just coincidentally fit together. And that's an example of getting ourselves into the practice of practicing. So let us now turn our attention to the possibility of announcements. If you have a kazoo, go ahead and unmute as we herald in Jane with the announcements.
No,
I'm Sandy with the announcements.
This cross-quarter information, and for those who don't know what cross-quarter is, it is the time that is right between the solstice and the equinox, is on our website at newthoughtphilly.org. and in our weekly e-newsletter.
And the
Please-
cross-border day is May Day, May 1st.
May 1st.
You recognize them. Groundhog Day, May 1st, Halloween, things like that.
Please sign up on the website so we can keep in touch. We host 15-minute meditations on Zoom twice every day. If you haven't taken part lately, Zoom in this week. They're inspiring, fun, and quick. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings this week are also on Insight Timer Live. World Labyrinth Day is next Sunday, May 4th. We'll walk as one at St. Thomas Church in White Marsh, led by Jane Downey, our friend and widely renowned labyrinth expert. Contact Reverend Bill to join the group for lunch beforehand.
And that will be on Saturday.
Episode 149 of Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer Podcast is Awakening. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get a peek behind the scenes in the live recording session on Monday at 1 on New Thought Media Network. The personal practitioner class that begins in the fall will boost your spiritual practice to the next level. Contact Reverend Bill to see what you need to do to be ready. There's no obligation to continue to professional training in year 2. This Friday, we will meet for lunch and art in Yellow Springs. They're having an art show, and we're there to support Jane, who is showing her art. And if you're interested in joining us for lunch and the show, please contact me. I'll put my contact information in the chat. We're always grateful for your financial support. You can make a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit card, or debit card. And thank you to our team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. To join the joy, you can contact me. Next Sunday is online with Let Worry Lead to Prayer. Our guest speaker is Dr. Brock Ford, who explores how we can worry into a powerful force that enriches us. Live original music by the awesome Anna Warnickiak. I'm not sure that's the right pronunciation.
I think she says it Varzniak, but
Warnickiak.
yeah, Anna W is good.
Okay. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Joe is available for a quick miracle in a minute prayer, and we'll leave the Zoom meeting open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Sandy. And thank you, everybody. And we have a special blessing for people who are with us for the first time. I know that Robin has been with us for meditations for the last week or so. I don't remember if you were here for a Sunday celebration previously or not. And then, of course, Jeff's entire family is joining us as well, friends and family. So you guys who are new to New Thought Philadelphia, you just received this. The rest of us are going to rub our hands together. You're going to feel some warmth. Feel some love. And send that out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for sharing that love and shining that light with us today. And welcome. As Jeff does the next song, go ahead and switch to gallery view or swipe through on your device so that you can make eye contact with the people who we're together with, because this is our community, and the eyes that you're looking into are the eyes of love, and the eyes that you're looking with are the eyes of love. Jeff?
Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Sit down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirit seemed to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath your parasol, the world is all a smile that makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bows, for there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes. your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Straight down the street and have your picture took. Dressed like a dream, your spirit seems to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath your bowler brim, the world's a simple song. A lovely lilt that makes you tilt your nose. Get out your slickers, your flannel knickers, your red suspenders and hose. In your new straw hat, in your silk cravat. There'll be no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm just imagining wearing all of those Sunday clothes at the same time. Quite a look. We're going to light the flames of faith now, and we're going to be led and read by Christine Joy.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for the Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. The reading today is going to be brought to us by Jane Rourke.
Good morning. This comes from a wonderful book from Florence Scovel Shinn called The Magic Path of Intuition. Here we go. Never say, I am broke, as it impresses the subconscious with a picture of emptiness. The game of life is a game of solitaire. As you change, so do your affairs. Affirm, I am now immune to all hurts and frustrations. The power within is perfect peace and perfect poise. A student once told me her mother always made scenes at holidays. At her sister's home, the mother said, I never want to dine in this house again. Next year, she was in the hospital. The student visited and the mother said, God has sent me this trial, so I will bear it patiently. The student replied, Mother, God didn't send you this illness. You attracted it yourself by your angry words. You said you didn't want to dine at Hannah's again, and here you are. The mother replied, Oh, let me alone. I prefer my old God who sends trials and tribulations. The student asked her to think constructively while in the hospital, to see herself walking into Hannah's house well and happy. The mother did so and was well again within a few weeks, to the surprise of the doctors. What you see with your inner eye, the imaging faculty, you meet sooner or later on the external. So see clearly your goodness, your health, your success, your happiness, and they will come to pass. Faith brings fruit.
are our future. Teach them well and let them lead their way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. Never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I lived as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all. It's easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I lived as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all. It's easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place, find your strength in love.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Jeff. Ah, so inspiring. May I have a word? That's actually the title of the talk today, is the word. And sometimes people say, may I have a word? Or there's other colloquial uses of word. I remember way back in the 90s, as I was first getting into sort of taking care of myself and getting my emotions and spiritual life in order. My first counselor was in a discussionment with her about something that I had said. And I said something like, it's just semantics. She says, oh, it's only words? I said, yeah. She says, honey, words is important. That's all we got. And Karen was so right. Words is important. And words are important on two different levels. On the human level, words are important because that is the mechanism that we have to move an idea from one mind to another. If there's something somebody else is thinking about and you want to understand what they're thinking about, then words are the way that we have to express that and to detail it and define it. And we can do things by actions and activities. It's possible to be in the presence of someone and just feel something. But words let us be very descriptive and very definitive, and we also have the ability to record them, to write them down and pass them along, to repeat them, to understand them. So on the human level, words are really important because that's the basis of the richness of our communication. On the divine level, they take on an even grander meaning. At the divine level, words are the rudder that we use to steer our ship. And if you think about it, the ship is heading straight ahead, and you've seen these in the movies, and the captain says, right 15-degree rudder. And the person says, aye, aye, captain, and they go ahead and do that. And then sometimes the captain will say, to a heading of 217. And what that means is we're going to turn gently in that direction until we get to this new heading, and we're heading in a new direction. And then we're going to go straight ahead there. And the words are really important because when we want to turn the ship into a different direction, it starts with a word. It starts with a word. This is what I want to do. And then that turns into instructions and then actions, and then change happens in the world. So at the divine level, the word is creating a new experience in our life. And it always starts with intentionality. It always starts with the word. Our group that has been working with the Living Untethered is continuing to meet. And the instructions were, if you want to live untethered, if you want to go to a life of witnessing and have this transformation, the first thing to do, the most important thing to do, is to have the intention to do it. And there are some other little details of things that you can try and activities and practices that you can have. But Michael Singer is really emphatic that the first thing that you need to do is set the intention, because that intentionality is creative. Our word is creative. The creative word the magicians use is abracadabra. And I've discussed this before, that abracadabra actually comes from the Hebrew. Abara, which is I will create. Kedabra, which is as I speak. Abracadabra, I will create as I speak. And we do, and we can, and we are. And that's what happens. That's the way that we're using our words. And we can use them to create something really spectacular and wonderful and great and helpful and uplifting. And we can use our words to create something that is harmful. We can use them with intentionality, or we can use our words with ignorance. And I'm put into the info, into the schedule, that the talk today is going to be about the word. That immediately drew some input for the opening prayer about the word. In the beginning, there was the word. And that's from the very first verse of the book of John. And I got it here from the King James Version of the Bible. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then you think, why do they need to say that two different ways? And then it continues, the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. So it's easy to sort of be glossy about that. In the beginning was the word. And that's kind of the same thing that it says in the first book of Genesis, which is, or the first verse of Genesis, which is, in the beginning there was darkness and void, and the word was, let there be light. The divine said, let there be light, and there was light. But I actually wanted to dig into this. What's up was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. So I went through and I just, okay, the beginning was the word, fine, that's the word. And the word was with God. Okay, with God is the word. And the word was God. Okay, word, God, same thing. With God, God, same thing. Word, God, with God, all means the same thing, all means God. Which means the same thing that the first verse of Genesis means, that God said, let there be light, and there was light. You start with the word, and then you have the experience. Interestingly, as I go through these exercises, there is a ton of information about what other people think this all means and the ways that they explain it. And it can be explained from cynical perspectives, and it can be explained with Bible scholarship in other different directions. And it's just amazing to see how much input a couple of lines of words can bring up. And it's interesting because we're not disagreeing with any of it. We're not disagreeing with anything because there's some hoops to jump through to understand that when it says God and with God and the word, that it was somehow talking about Jesus instead of God. And if that's helpful, then great, go ahead and do that. Because the whole reason that I ran away from my original spiritual upbringing is because I didn't believe that Jesus was the only Son of God. I thought maybe we all are. And Jesus was just doing a really good job at it. And so, and it turned out 20 years later that there's a whole teaching about that, which we call New Thought, which I really started lapping up like a cat with a bowl of milk. Because that infinite creative power that creates everything has created us. It created Jesus. It created everything, all of the supposed miracles that happened, which once you understand the trick, once you've got the abracadabra down, then anybody can do it. I just don't know how currently. So I've let go of my attachment. And instead of saying, oh, there's somebody who does something that I can ever possibly do, I can make it be, well, there's somebody who was able to do stuff that I just don't understand how to do. And could I? Maybe. Am I going to apply myself to the point where I could? Probably not. In which case, no. If I were really to take it on and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to make happen in my life, would I be able to? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, but I could certainly give it a try. Certainly give it a try. And so then there becomes the personal words, the ones that we're using and the ones we have. So aspirational words. And when we got on this morning for the tech rehearsal, I was asked, how am I doing? And I said, living the dream. And Dina, who's doing the tech, laughed because we have company coming over tonight, and we had been having more discussion about how to clean the house up so that we can have company come over. So living the dream might be a little aspirational for me. There's some other words that are aspirational, and by that I mean words that we use that may not be completely true right now, but that we have the intention of being true. So we're going to stick with that and use those as the invitation for the newness coming along. I learned a lot from my dog, Oliver. Oliver is really good. When I tell him to sit, he sits right down. And he has very good posture. He sits attentively. When he's on the furniture and I want him off the furniture, I say off, and he jumps right down. And there are other fun tricks that he is very good at doing. And the word is sit, and he sits. Oliver has a little bit of a problem with come. He thinks that the response to that can be a matter of opinion. You know, he thinks that come means when you want to, or if it seems otherwise okay, when you get around to it. And that's really not what I mean when I call him. The other one he has a hard time with is not because he's got an attitude. It's because I think he has an addiction, and that's drop it. He has a tennis ball. Drop it. He's just going to continue dancing around with the tennis ball going, I got the tennis ball. I got the tennis ball. The word is the same, though. When I set the intention that I want him to drop it, it's because I want something different to be happening in experience. And by the way, I most of the time don't care about the tennis ball. I'm just going to pick it up and throw it for him so that he can play. So, and the same thing, I'm standing there with this harness and I say, come. It's like, we're going to go outside and have a little adventure. And when he's hesitant and holds back and whatever, he's actually getting in his own way. What I want to do is do something helpful for him. But the word is not conveying the meaning that I want it to convey in that particular situation. And if you'd like to try talking to my dog, you're welcome to come over and give that a shot. But that's not why I'm talking about that either. It's about the aspirational words that we're all using. What do we want to be creating in our life? Because the words that we're using to describe the experience that we want to be having are the way that we are turning the rudder on our ship. And sometimes, you're riding around in a little sailboat or a small boat. You got your hand on the controls and you decide you want to make something happen and you just steer in that direction. And the bigger the ship gets, the more complicated it is because the captain doesn't hold the wheel. The captain tells the guy who has the wheel that he wants something to happen, and the guy over there repeats back what he's going to be doing, and he turns the wheel, and there are guys downstairs or maybe adjusting the engines. And there's a whole bunch of activity that's involved in bringing that change about. But it all starts with the word. It all starts with that intention of what it is that I want to have happen next. Sometimes aspirational, or as we call them, seed thoughts. And it's springtime. I don't know if you've noticed. May Day is coming up this week. Looking forward to it. And it's very much feeling like spring for me for a couple of reasons. First of all the green things that are coming up, and I have to cut the lawn this afternoon. I also have been notified by the gardening company that they have shipped the Zone 7 plants. So my stuff for the garden is going to be showing up this week. So there is planting to be done. Some of it already showed up in the form of seeds. And when I plant the seeds, I have an intention of what's going to happen. When I ordered the seeds, I had an intention of what was going to happen. And the seeds that I got are organic zucchini seeds. So this is the equivalent of me saying, let there be zucchini. Or perhaps set course for zucchini until zucchini at 217 degrees. But it's all intentional. And we've talked about this before. When we plant zucchini seeds, given the notion that the soil is prepared, that we're not dropping them on the rocks or throwing them in the ocean, if the soil is prepared and receptive, then that seed is going to bear fruit. It is going to blossom and it's going to grow. Now, I'm saying this, and Jeff is in the middle of the desert. So there's some stuff that you need to do in Palm Springs in order to get the seeds to work. That's a little bit different than you need to do in Philadelphia. But you start with that seed idea. If I have a zucchini seed and I want to grow zucchinis, no matter where I am, there is a way that I can do that. But the first intention is let there be zucchini, or whatever it is that you are going to be planting. Let there be love in my relationships. Let there be prosperity in my life. Let there be comfort in my physical body. Let there be health in my family. Let there be peace in my world and my circumstance. If we're not willing to start with the word, then we're just going to spend our time complaining about the things that we don't like in life. And our words can be used in wisdom, with insight and thoughtfulness. Our words can be used in ignorance, where we don't know what we're talking about. There's a great episode of the NPR show Car Talk, where somebody had a question about a cattle trailer with electric brakes. And it is absolutely hysterical to listen through as the Mariachi brothers, Click and Clack, discuss electric brakes. Because what they say is, well, I don't know anything about electric brakes. And then they spend 5 or 10 minutes pontificating about what they think about the electric brakes, periodically stopping to say, but we don't actually know anything about electric brakes. Now, that is speaking our word authoritatively and in complete ignorance. And yes, you've done it. Yes, I've done it. It has happened where we get an idea and we keep going and we keep going and keep going. Last week we were talking about artificial intelligence being like a room full of 7-year-olds making up a story. The same thing can happen to us. If we start out with a premise and we start speaking from our level of ignorance, then we can go and go and go, and we might get it right. And that's really dangerous because then we think it's a good idea to do that. And it's not. It's a good idea to start with an idea of what we want to be creating and then go from there. So what is it that you're creating? What do you want to have in your life? You can use your words in wisdom or in ignorance. And it's also possible to use your words harmfully, to do something that's going to cause trouble. And sometimes it's trouble for other people, and sometimes it's trouble for us. And sometimes we think if we cause trouble for other people, that'll be fine. Except you know why that doesn't necessarily work, because we live in an infinite universe. There is one creative power that creates everything. And when we are setting the intention for there to be some sort of chaos or malevolence in the world, who gets to experience it? We do. It comes into the world through us. So maybe that's what it means by the Word was God and the Word was with God, because it's going to happen, and it's going to happen to me first. And maybe that's not what it means. I don't know. Maybe it's electric brakes on a cattle trailer, and I don't need to know. So the question for you for today, for this week, is what are the seeds that you're planting? What is the experience that you want to be bringing into the world? What is the experience that you want to be having? Who do you want to be in the world? What do you bring into it? And is the experience that you're desiring and the intention that you're setting and the activities that you're engaging, is that all in harmony? Are those fitting together? Because if we say one thing and do something else, if we claim something and believe something else, we're going to get the results of our actions and our beliefs, mostly our beliefs. The important thing is intention setting. Choose the seeds and choose them intentionally. And then go through the planting process and invite something new and wonderful into life. And let me know what comes up. Let me know what's blossoming and what you're going to be harvesting, because there's wonderful possibilities unfolding as each of us, as all of us, as everyone here. You are blessed, and so it is.
Thank you, Jeff, for that mellow song. Thank you, Rev, for that word and those seeds you threw our way. I caught a couple of them. Hopefully, each one caught those seeds of love, peace, joy, abundance. Right now, settle in, get comfortable, body comfortable, mind still. I invite you also to bring your eyes to a soft focus or shut them down completely from the disturbance, the outer disturbance of the world around. From yesterday, today, tomorrow, we're gonna settle it here and now. Take a deep breath in. Hold it, fill your lungs a little more. Let it go slowly. Get comfortable in your own being, your own place, your own space and time, right here and right now. Body comfortable, smooth, mind still, breathing in and out. We have the intentions. We have our seeds gathered. And the word became flesh. We saw that glory. Glory like the sons and daughters of God. They say God doesn't share his glory, but he does. Share his glory in his life. The only life with each one of us. And we choose what seeds we want to use. But also, from the inner, we create that space. It's like that eternal flame that is in each one of us, shooting out from our eyes, from our heart and chest. That's the field that we are creating. It's a field, infinite field. It's the beginning from inner. But when we look at the third eye and the outer, we don't see no end. It's infinite. We create that space in our relationships towards the people that are close to us, far from us. We just plant the seeds. We just throw the word of love, empathy, peace, joy, understanding. But we don't see the end of the field. It's infinite. Cannot see the infinite. God shared himself with each one of us. Share life. Share that bliss. How much can we take? How much we are open in that field? Everything lives in that field. We move in the field. We have our presence. We playing like a game of basketball. It's inbound. It's no outbound. The ball never goes outbound. It stays in the field of God. We dribble, we shoot, high-five each other. Because our seeds of love, peace, joy. We let God give us the harvest. He knows. He created the planets, created us. He knows more than us. We just create that field for God to express himself through each one of us. And those seeds are always good. Because God is good. We ask, we receive, we seek, we find, we knock. The door should be open up to us. We ask for bread, he's not going to give us a rock. So even us, if our kids, children ask us for fish, we're not going to give them a serpent. So us being human, know how to give good things to our kids and neighbor and family and loved ones. How much more our Father, which is in heaven, will give us what we ask. And believing, we send the word, we send the feeling, the imagination, the believing, the knowing that God is going to do it. That's faith. Faith is not seeing to believe, it's believing to see. So as we go into the silence, cultivate your seeds with the water of love, with the light that is eternal. In the right time, that seed will open and crack, and you will see the fruit of your labor, and you will kiss the desire of your prayer.
Our words are the rudders that we use to steer our ship. Our words set the course. Our words declare our intentions. We create as we speak. Be intentional. Be impeccable. Be clear. Define the colors, the shapes, the feelings. Create that mental equivalent. Paint the picture. It's all in how we prepare that soil for the seeds. The seeds of what we wish. Use that creative power that we were born with. Be open to the ability that we have. It's right there at hand. Take a deep breath. Move your shoulders a little bit, open your hands and feet, whatever you need to do to come back to the room. Come back to where we are. As Jeff plays another song.
Think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew, never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry at your blue corn moon, or ask the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? You can paint with all the colors of the wind. Run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Can taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. And for once, never wonder what they're worth. The rainstorm and the river are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends. And we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. How high does a sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And you'll never hear the wolf cry to a blue corn moon, for whether we are white or coppered skin, we need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. We need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Joe and Jesus. Wonderful. Wonderful. I love that line. How high will the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, you'll never know. And that's like being intentional. There are reasons to cut down a sycamore, and there's things that you lose when you do that. So we're up to the wisdom share. If there is some seed that we have planted in your awareness that is causing you to want something different in your life, or to have a new claim, or something you should just feel like sharing from somewhere in the program today, just wave your hand and you get a chance to give voice to it, which of course is the first step in bringing it into experience. Quiet bunch today. All right. Is anybody going to be gardening this season? Sandy says, nope. Might buy some cut flowers. That'll be about the extent of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little gardening.
Okay.
I'm always doing gardening. I guess year round. You know, we always gardening.
Okay.
Taking the weeds out, let the fruit come out, and eat.
There you go.
From the fruits. Yeah. Thank you, Red, for that beautiful talk, and thank you, Jeff. For that soothing music. I always look forward for the Sunday celebration. It's like kind of pulling me up for the week ahead. So thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And I knew that when I asked the question about gardening, that Jane wouldn't be able to keep her hand down.
Breen's sitting across from me, like he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? Jane doesn't garden.
My kids. Oh,
Sorry, guys.
Hi, Breen. So you like the gardening? So that's how you garden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack just scares every bad weed away. It's just, that's how it works. So I did want to just mention that, I think there is such power in our word and our intentions. And I've come to personally feel like it's a practice. It's so, it's like, of course, if I'm feeling something, like particularly lately, I've been feeling something in my body. And I keep it's a practice. It's an intention. It's a mindfulness of keep going back and saying, this is what the experience I want. This is what I want. And I'm realizing that our brains are, unfortunately, I think they're kind of hardwired to just go, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
No, you don't.
I don't think that's possible. I think I've got control here. So it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but when we're trying to go to the gym and build muscle and look a certain way on the outside, we don't get that by just sitting on the couch with a bag of potato chips and saying, you know what, this is my intention. I'm going to have a 6-pack on my stomach by the end of the week. It's like, you have to go to the gym. You have to have the intention. You have to say the word. You also have to put some action behind it. And I think it's the same with our mental state of mind and what's going on the inside. You can't just sit on the couch and go, wow, I want this, and then not really take the action behind it. And also tying that in with the ship and the boat. Yes, you're setting your course for this intention, for this new experience. And sometimes our minds go, nope. I know you're trying to get us over here to the right, but I'm yanking you over to the left. And that's okay. You just say to yourself, I've got this, and I'm correcting it. I'm correcting the course again. I'm correcting again. I'm correcting it again until you get the experience going where you want to go.
Beautiful.
If that makes any sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
That's how I feel.
Absolutely, it does.
And so it is.
Joe's your hand up?
Yes.
Okay.
Jane, I wanted to, when you said our minds are hardwired, there's evidence that we really are hardwired because, back when we were uncivilized or less civilized, I don't know which is right, but physical survival meant that you had to be aware that there was a possibility that there was a saber-toothed tiger over there to the left, hiding behind those trees. And if we went that way, we were going to be lunch. So sometimes what I'll do is just keep in mind or remind myself, bring myself back that the truth of who we are is to have the ability to make the choice to think a different way and understand that was our history, so that we have more of a reason to counterbalance it. and then take the other side, take the other path. So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not always about, physical survival. Well, it's just not that served us then, and maybe it doesn't serve us as well now.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Joe. Thank you. Yeah, and like after the celebration, I'm going to go to lunch, but I will not be going to lunch with a saber-toothed tiger. So perhaps egg salad. Anybody else? A word to share? All right. I just want to comment that I'm very much looking forward to the two activities that we have going on later this week. We're going to go see Jane's art show in historic Yellow Springs on Friday, and then on Saturday, the Labyrinth Walk for World Labyrinth Day in White Marsh for Washington. Contact Sandy for the coordinates and details on the art thing, and contact me if you want to join us for lunch before the Labyrinth Walk. The other directions are on the website. Sandy, back to you for offering.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions, and the gift you share helps fund our work in the world. The way you shine your light spreads the love. We're grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on your screen. You can unmute and we'll say it together. I live in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of all good. I am the center of prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life. I bless my gift. I share my gift with gratitude and joy. I know that as I give, I do receive, and so it is.
Amen.
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 Thank you. Jeff, one more anthem?
Yes. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Their choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. Send them your heart, so they'll know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. So we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all, but if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Let us realize that a change will only come when we stand together as one. We are the world, we are the children, we are the one to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, make a better day. Just you and
Hmm. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. And speaking of using our word to set an intention and create an experience, Dina is teaching a class at, she has to be out of here at 1/4 and she was very intentional. We need to be done by 1/4, and here we are at 37. And so it is, we're good to go. So let us wrap up by making another joyful cacophony. Go ahead and unmute your microphone on this beautiful sunny day and repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am light.
I am the word.
I am the word.
Shine my light.
I shine my light.
I share my love.
I share my love.
And my word is creating my life.
And my word is creating my life.
And so it is.
Oh, it is.
Whew. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Jack wanted to contribute to the cacophony.
Nice. Nice. Good for you, Jack.
Jeff, Irene wanted to know what's the name of the instrumental that you played?
It was the Afternoon of the Fawn, Prelude to the Afternoon of the Fawn.
Prelude to the afternoons. That'd be the morning of the phone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My debut say.
Speaking of the word, Breen, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
words really matter to Breen like this.
I'm going to go say my words in just a little bit.
Ah, yes.
Can you tell them about the audition that you're going to be doing? I think it's hilarious.
Oh, I'm going to audition for, they're doing Midsummer Night's Dream with a 60s, 70s musical theme. I'm actually going to prepare a song for a musical audition.
But the got you is that the character.
I want to go for Nick Bottom in Midsummer Night's Dream. So if you know Midsummer Night's Dream, he's an actor in the play. He's an actor who thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's horrible.